The aim of this short video is to provide a brief introduction to the world of fine wine, why one should collect, how one goes about it, and how you can utilise my experience in the fine wine world to build bespoke portfolios based on your clients' wants and requirements. So we're here in our general office tasting room with Andy, and we're going to discuss the finer aspects of the wine world, how one collects, why one would choose some of these regions, and just go into a little bit more detail about about what makes these so important in the fine wine world.
So why would I want to collect wine?
I think an individual needs to view wine just the same way that they would view art, watches, cars, handbags, whatever it may be. It's a pursuit of passion, but at the end of the day, it also may offer some financial rewards, after a certain period of time.
So I want to get started. What's my core collection going to be built around?
So you've got Champagne, you've got Bordeaux, and you've got Burgundy.
Okay, so why would Champagne be part of that?
Well, I think a lot of people collect, or a lot of people drink champagne, just to celebrate. But that doesn't mean that it's only a once, twice, few times a year occurrence. I think it's really important to be able to buy wine or buy champagne, at its earliest point, which realistically, when it's first released onto the market, and it gives you, sort of the cheapest entry point of buying this and potentially selling it for the future. If you take Dom Perignon, for example, they make hundreds of thousands of bottles, and the minute the new vintage is released, you see it in restaurants, nightclubs, bars all over the world. So virtually overnight, half of that vintage will be wiped out by somebody who's just looking for the brand. But collectors know the quality, and in 10 years' time, for a specific vintage, they'll be willing to pay a premium for that wine.
So Claret is from Bordeaux, and that's going to be a key part of my collection.
Correct. Bordeaux is probably the most important wine region, for the vast majority of collectors, and that goes back, hundreds and hundreds of years. I think at the moment it is, in terms of the sort of investable wine traded, it's about 65% of all investable wine is Bordeaux. But not all collectors, need to worry about securing some of these, hugely, sort of important and high-end wines. You can get great wines that will offer huge amount of pleasure and potentially return at all levels, really. But I think what makes Bordeaux unique is that you've got family-run chateaus that have most likely been under the same ownership, a bit like us at Berry Brothers, for hundreds of years, and these chateaus have always had their same vines, and gradually they've built up brands, and through classifications and heritage and history and tastings and critical acclaim, some of these wines have become hugely important to both high-end collectors and everyday drinkers.
So staying in France, Burgundy is going to be also a key component of any collection.
Yeah, so Burgundy is sort of the hot region of the moment. You're getting some of the world's greatest white and red wines, made there. So the production is tiny, the wines are fantastic, but whether it's for, sort of everyday drinking or laying down for the future or potentially investing, Burgundy can match both Bordeaux and Champagne for, the opportunities.
And Burgundy is as equally well known for quality whites as reds?
Yeah, for sure. I think the most famous wines of the world are generally red wines, but Burgundy is one of the regions that they make the quality and the importance and history of the most excellent white wines that are produced can match some of their red counterparts. White wine, it can age, but it's you're not going to cellar it and keep it generally for as long as you are for the red wines. White wine is most likely going to be drunk over a slightly shorter space of time.
What else should I be sort of looking to add to my collection?
What we've really seen, sort of striding out there and putting its shoulders back and making the world known that they can make some quality wines is California. The top Napa wines over the last 20 years have got huge acclaim, both critically and from collectors. But you've also got traditional regions like Spain and Italy, where a lot of the wine was held back domestically, but now is finding its way onto the tables of drinkers in Hong Kong, in Japan, in Singapore, in Melbourne, wherever it may be. These collectors aren't as sort of blinkered as they once used to be. They're looking to explore new wine regions and find that next big thing. But I do believe that, you know, some of the wines that we are going to be drinking today will be classed as equal, you know, will be classed better, if not equally as good as some of the legendary vintages, you know, from years gone by, whether that's 1982, 1961, 1945, 1921, 1900, etc. You know, so I think this is why it's so interesting to collect some of these great wines, because you have something to compare it to. So, you know, I get access to the finest wines in the world, you know, at whatever price point, and, you know, I will offer them to, you know, to my clients, you know, based on what their, you know, budgets and objectives are. Really, you know, the easiest way to do that is to use our seller plan service, you know, which is a sort of not, you know, it's sort of subsidising your future collecting, really, by contributing on a monthly basis, you know, at a value of whatever you see fit, and then we use those funds to buy the relevant wines for your collections, which can obviously be topped up at different points.
And what if I don't want to drink all of it?
So we are, you know, it's my responsibility to manage your portfolio, not just from a drinking or selling perspective. You know, it's to sort of update you, you know, based on, you know, its sort of drinkability, its price point, the trends in the market. You know, if you decide that you've got too much wine to drink, or you don't like a specific region and it's the right time to sell it, we can find a way to, you know, to sort of, you know, maneuver that out of your portfolio at you know, hopefully a profit, and then we can reinvest those funds, you know, to the, you know, to buy the wines that you would like to, that you would think you would like to drink in the future. What I think is important to take away from this short video are 5 key points. Firstly, fine wine is a pursuit of passion, but also potentially gives you an opportunity for financial gain, and gives you the opportunity to experience great wine with the capability of selling at a profit later on. 2, securing a young wine, ideally at the first point where it comes onto the market, will give you an opportunity both to purchase the wine at its cheapest price, but also guarantee its provenance, which should maximise its value over its lifespan. 3, fine wine is about enjoying what is in the glass, which goes to say that not all fine wine has the capability of aging or offering a financial benefit later on. Utilising my experience and knowledge will enable your clients to have confidence in the wines that they are purchasing, that they are getting exactly what they want out of their portfolio. 4, when building a collection, as a rule of thumb, you want to stick to the traditional regions, whether that be for drinking or investing. However, you want to supplement that with the more esoteric regions that give you the opportunity to enjoy fine wines from all around the world. And finally, quality over quantity. It's an old adage, but a very important one when it comes to wine.